Okay, so last time we saw how the self-locking is carried out. A peculiar position of a fulcrum, if it is there, then the frictional force is causing a moment, and that frictional force, like last time mu F was the frictional force, that was causing the opposite moment, and that was causing the application of the brake, and that was called as the self-locking brake. So we are now going to see the application of such kind of a brake. So let's see how this is done. There is a drum, and after this drum we are going to draw a figure like this. Some support is here, and on this side here there is a shoe, so what you now see is here there is a drum, and on this drum there is a rope that is wound here. And this place here, there is some object. Then this is supported somewhere. It has to be supported. So I am just showing a support like this, just as a convention. This is a brake shoe. Just a simple schematic arrangement, you can say. So now what you observe here is that there is a drum. On this drum there is a rope wound, and the end of the rope there is some weight. Now imagine that you want to lift this weight up. So what is done is, by some method we are rotating like this, and as a result of rotation the drum is rotating this way and the weight is lifted up. Now suppose whatever is the method or handle you are rotating, suppose for some reason you release your hand, then what will happen? The weight, because the weight is on this side, the weight will start falling down on its own, and this will start rotating in the backward direction. So weight will come down, this will go like this. And what we want to happen here is that even if you are stopped lifting it up, now I am lifting it up in this direction. Suppose I release hand, still I want this to remain in the lifted position. I don't want it to go down. Now in such situation we want the brake to be applied immediately on its own without we doing anything. That means without the P is equal to 0, still the brake should be applied. And who is going to apply brake? The frictional force is going to apply brake. How that is going to happen is what is shown over here. So if you see the figure, the way it is drawn, this is our, you can say, suppose I draw this handle like this, and this handle you are rotating like this for the purpose of lifting, it is lifting up. Now you release the handle, so it had started going down. So when it starts going down, the first thing that will happen is this will rotate this way. The drum will rotate in the clockwise direction. Now we don't want this to rotate in the clockwise direction, because if it rotates in the clockwise direction, then the weight will go down, and this weight going down we don't want. So here what happens, the moment the drum starts rotating like this, the frictional force which is present here, that frictional force will come into play. So like last time we have shown mu into F. So this mu F in this direction will be acting on the shoe. Shoe means lever. So the moment mu F is acting here, this mu F is at certain distance. You can see here, like last time, mu F is at certain distance A. So mu F into A is the moment that is created in this direction. This is a moment of frictional force, and this is equal to mu into F into A. Mu into F into A, that is the moment that is created in the opposite direction like this, and this is causing further pressure. So this further pushed down. So when this is pushed down, this F is increased, so mu F is again increased, so further moment is increased, so it will go on increasing on its own. So even if a slight contact is there, the direction once it changes, then this will go on piling up, and this mu F will cause a moment which will increase the F, which will increase mu F, which will increase the moment, which will increase F. So this will go on happening, and immediately the brake is applied. So that means, in other words, it will not rotate in this direction at all. That means even if you are lifting it up, even if you leave your hand, the reverse motion which you don't want immediately will apply the brake, and this is what is called as a self-locking. Now if you want this to really come down purposely, then you have to lift this contact. So this part of the handle that is given, it is only for pulling down, so that this contact will break, and you will allow it to go down if you want. But on its own it will not go down. On the other hand, you have to just lift this up. Suppose this is some device for, let us say, lifting some weights from the ground floor to, let's say, 4th floor. So this arrangement is made there. So you started lifting like this, the object, whatever you want to carry up, it is coming up, and once it comes up, now you don't want to hold this in position. You just leave your hand, nothing will happen, and this object can be brought out. Once this is brought out, everything is fine. Now you want to shift this basket down again for lifting next lot. So at that time, when you want to move this down, that time you have to release the contact so that this will go down. So this is an example of self-locking brake that is applied here, and this is some kind of a safety operation. The example what you see here is a safety operation kind of, where the drum will rotate only in one direction. In the opposite direction it cannot rotate because of self-locking condition. So this is an application of case number 2 what we have learned, and some theory behind that case number 2 what we learned, that tells us that in a peculiar situation, if the dimension, now when this happens, we are written last time, some condition we are written, according to that condition only this happens, it doesn't happen on its own. So that condition I'll just repeat, x equal to mu into A. X equal to mu into A. So certain distances are such, x is a certain distance, say in this case this is x, and this is A. So if x is equal to mu A, if the design is such that x is equal to mu A, then the self-energizing or self-locking will take place, which we have seen last time. So this is the application of that particular theory. Okay, so just make a nice note of this so that you will understand this concept very well. Next is the case number 3, which we will take up after some time.